know what? If your T is low, you got low testosterone, it's time to get your edge back with Red Mountain Weight Loss. And if you get Red Mountain Weight Loss and get on testosterone therapy, they're going to give you 1 month of a GLP-1 weight loss medication for absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Hey man, it's worth it. If you're getting older, doesn't mean that you got to, feel old. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go and have you 20 again. Gain more muscle and less effort in the gym. You're gonna feel better, you're gonna sleep better, and you're gonna love a little bit better, if you know what I mean. It's Red Mountain Weight Loss. Don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like.
Are you with me or no?
It's a game changer, and you're gonna look better. You're gonna lose weight, and remember, you get a combo of testosterone and a GLP-1. It will burn that belly fat, and you're gonna get ripped. So this month, get your free GLP-1 medication, a $299.
I think we're streaming again.
Testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight.
Guys, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Please just have patience because I'm trying to fix whatever's happening as much as anybody could. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's our multi-streamer. I don't know if, there's something up with, it keeps fucking up on Sabrina's camera or Fritz's camera. I don't know if it's an internal thing with the switcher. I don't know what's going on. I think it's more than any of that. I think it's something larger because the stream is actually stopping. When it was one of our cameras, it would just be that the frame would freeze. Creamy's hijacking the stream? Maybe. I'm going to keep trying my best to fix this. In the meantime, if there's problems, just refresh the stream. Refresh the stream, and I'll just keep relaunching it until we can get it going. We're back in 2 minutes. It's just brutal because it's like we're building up big numbers. I've been getting more viewers and the videos have been getting more of an audience, and this kind of stuff is so annoying and frustrating to me. You get to a max audience and start building, and then boom, hey, guess what? Could completely cut everything out from under you.
International Diamond Center. For over 4 decades, IDC has stood for one thing above all, protecting our customers.
Our raid yesterday was freezing too.
Just the diamond you want at the fair price you deserve. So don't overpay. If you want a lab-grown diamond, come to IDC.
Other Twitch streams went down at the same time. Well, it has to be more than Twitch because YouTube went down too. I think it might be Restream.
Out here, if you're doing nothing, you're doing everything right. Go on a cruise with Norwegian.
1 minute. I think it might be Restream, but I'm not sure. I know it's not me. All of our stuff is running as intended. I'm having no issues with connectivity. It's there's so many providers that you have to rely on.
Really important.
Experience the difference with cruises.
We're coming back.
The Caribbean and Europe. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Visit ncl.com. Call your travel advisor for 1-888-NCL Cruise.
Here we go.
Really important.
Experience the difference with cruises to Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Visit ncl.com. Call your travel advisor or 1-888-NCL Cruise. Norwegian Cruise Line ships registry the Bahamas and USA.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. B-A-N-K. Bank. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
In just a moment, we'll see all of the weird stuff that happened in Florida in the last 7 days with our friend Christopher Dolores Lane. And we'll get to more of your emails, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Lots going on in the world, obviously. Try not to freeze this weekend. And we want to hear back from you on Monday next week to see whatever happened in your world, no matter where you are out there. But we'll be back with all the most viral stuff as you could imagine, as predicted, unless the cold weather freezes the internet pipes. Maybe that's what's been happening around here. People are saying like a lot of video streams are going down. So I don't know if it's Restream, which is like a multi-stream provider, or if like YouTube and Twitch are having problems. But if you try to watch the show each day and there's ever a problem, just refresh if you don't mind. Just like keep refreshing or try, because I'll just relaunch it until we can sort out whatever the issue is. I apologize. It's really frustrating and annoying, and I'm annoyed too, but everything will be all right. It'll all work out. All right, right now, let's get into it. Are you ready?
Maybe the cold does do a little bit of it. You know, I've noticed that my Wi-Fi in the bathroom is not as good as it usually is. Oh. And I'm like, I need my bathroom Wi-Fi. You know, there's a lot of interneting to do.
Yeah, can't have that happen, but we must press on.
How am I going to play my shower jams?
You got to do a segment, my friend. You got to do that instead.
All right.
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let's do This Week in Florida.
Giving you a recap of the most grown-worthy stories in the state. It's This Week in Florida.
That is correct. The weekend is here. It's time to take a trip around the Sunshine State, lowering in Fahrenheit, and see some of the craziness that has gone on in the past 7 days or so. I'm actually kind of torn here because I feel like there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff that happens over the weekend, and then when we revisit this next weekend, you're probably going to have burned all the stories by the time we get to it.
Possibly.
Well, we have this one in Boca Raton. This is not weather-related at all. But a Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier Saturday called for the revocation of a Boca Raton labor and delivery nurse's license.
Oh,
and people are saying, no, this nurse is just exercising her right to free speech in this vile TikTok where she was wishing severe childbirth injuries on White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt.
Oh, yikes. All right.
According to previous reports.
Right there in her kitchen or something?
And
as far as the filming, the TikToks.
I haven't seen the actual video, but I have what she says here.
Oh.
All right.
The nurse, identified as Lexi Lawler, was fired from Baptist Health Boca Raton Regional Hospital following the video, which included explicit language. They confirmed her termination, saying the remarks violated the hospital standards for compassionate, unbiased patient care. Now, I think that is probably within the hospital's right. You know, if they're saying this person is one of our nurses, and they might have some sort of terms or some sort of rules of employment saying you can't have stuff that would makes us look bad.
That adds up. I mean, that's kind of how it should be expected, I guess.
But her supporters are saying that the Attorney General calling for her the revocation of her license is a little bit much, might be violating some First Amendment things. In the video, Lawler says it gives her great joy to wish Leavitt would suffer a 4th-degree tear during childbirth, the most severe type of obstructive tear.
That's specific.
Where is the quote? Oh, my gosh, they took out the quote.
That's the tear from B to V, right? Or V to B?
She said specifically that she wants Leavitt to be ripped from bow to stern.
Oh, my God.
And S out her innards or something like that.
Wow,
it was a very
descriptive
video. The Florida Board of Nursing should yank this vile person's license immediately. She doesn't belong anywhere near patients, Uthmeier said in a response to the viral video on X. At the same time, supporters emerged online. Of course, she has a GoFundMe campaign created, describes her firing as retaliation for political speech, arguing she was punished for the comments made on her social media account outside of work and directed at a public figure rather than her employer. The campaign, as of Sunday, had raised more than $3,000 of the $14,000 goal. I mean, I think she has the right to say it, but it was pretty gnarly, pretty wild.
A lot.
Yeah. Do either of you purchase ready-to-eat chicken? Because if you do, you might want to check the packaging on your ready-to-eat chicken. The department,
what if I already ate it?
Maybe check the packaging that you put in the trash. The Department of Agriculture, Food Safety, and Inspection Service announced a recall of ready-to-eat chicken produced by Susanna's Kitchen, because it might have just a little listeria in there. The USDA says the Georgia-based company is recalling approximately 13,720 pounds of ready-to-eat grilled chicken breast fillet products that may be adulterated with Listeria monocytogenes. In addition to Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Missouri, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Ohio are in the list of states where this might have been affected. No confirmed reports of illnesses just yet. And it's all we could talk about today is the cold. We're talking about the incoming cold, and AAA wants to just kind of remind some people that aren't used to having those kind of temperatures. They say with the temperatures expected to drop into the 20s and 30s and feel even lower, they're saying make sure your vehicles are safeguarded. Whenever temperatures drop this quickly, the calls to AAA, the Auto Club, start pouring in. Dead batteries become extremely common, and not only are you risking frozen pipes at home, but that also happens in your car. Cold weather can severely reduce a car battery's ability to hold a charge, especially if the battery is older or weakened. So,
what about tire pressure? Am I filling up the tires before?
They say keep tabs on your tire pressure because cold weather lowers it. I've actually had an alert in my car that my pressure has gone down a little bit, and then it just comes back up when it warms. Cold weather says that it'll go 1 to 2 psi for every 10-degree drop in temperature. Underinflated tires can reduce fuel economy, affect handling, and increase the risk of blowouts. So check the pressure in the morning when the tires are cold. Inflate to the recommended value found on the door jamb. And it says, this is something I'm guilty of. Don't rely solely on tire pressure monitoring systems.
Well, what are they there for? Come on.
Does anybody actually regularly check their tire pressure on this show, or do you usually just check the tire pressure monitoring system?
I just use that one, yeah.
I have the thing in the car that shows the little diagram of the car, and it says, 34, 36, although it was like kind of 31, 32 the last couple days since it's been colder in the morning. But that's all that I rely on.
Oh, I got a pump in the car. I mean, I don't have like what each tire is. It just beeps, and then I pump it in the HQ parking lot like a cool girl.
Well, if it were warm enough to go swimming, you won't really have to worry about this danger. But if it were warm enough to go swimming, people would say, hey, watch out for the Contender, who is lurking along Florida's coast. The great white shark that stretches nearly 14 feet and weighs well over 1,600 pounds, making him the largest male of his kind ever to be recorded in the Atlantic Ocean. And according to OCEARCH, that's OCEARCH, Contender was first tagged in January last year, 45 miles off the coast near Florida and Georgia. And after he was tagged, he swam north all the way up to the Gulf of St. Lawrence near Canada. But the shark tracker says Contender is coming back, baby. Most recently pinged on Monday morning offshore of the coast of Florida. And it made its way south past Daytona Beach, leading him down the coast off of Sebastian. Big ass great white shark. How big was Jaws supposed to be in the movie? Did they say?
I think it was like 20.
Jaws. And how big was this one?
This one is a 14-foot shark that says it weighs over 1,600 pounds.
Jaws was supposed to be 25 feet long and 3 tons. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, geez.
Oh, this is funny. I guess it got larger every time. Hold on. Is this right? In the movie, it was supposed to be 25 feet. In the novel, it was supposed to be 30 feet. And then in one of the follow-up movies, they said the shark was 35 feet.
Well, Jaws be eating, man. That's what happens when he's gobbling up all those, all those people in the fishing village. Speaking of fishing, if you've ever known somebody who's like an old fisherman, have you ever heard like somebody describe all their tricks? Like, I know the tricks. I chum the waters with a little bit of this, and the fish come. Or I play great white. Once bitten, twice shy, and then the fish come because they like the music. These two that have been arrested in it doesn't say where it is. Hold on,
Florida.
In the Keys, down in the Keys. Actually, I may have been to this place where they were arrested, but They wanted the ultimate loophole for fishing, the ultimate loophole to catch the fish. So they went to the aquarium. Police arrested a second suspect this week over a break-in at a Florida Keys aquarium that led to the death of a large tarpon.
Oh.
Security camera footage from you're a big tarpon fan.
Yeah, I mean, how'd they kill this thing? They went into there and they just dropped their lines in the aquarium?
Well, I don't know if it was that simple, but it sounds like that's what they did.
That's like shooting animals at the zoo.
Right. Security camera footage from May of last year showed two men entering Florida Keys aquarium encounters just before 3 a.m., and it says unlawfully fishing in the facility's private lagoon, which really does sound like what you described. The video reportedly captured the pair catching a tarpon estimated at 55 inches and holding it out of the water for roughly 5 minutes to pose for photos. Afterward, they returned the fish to the lagoon, but aquarium staff discovered the fish dead the next morning. The suspects were later identified as Derek Lee Vivian, 25, of Fort Myers, and Christopher Jeffrey Smith, 20 years old, of Marathon. Both have been charged with burglary and illegally removing a tarpon greater than 40 inches from the water. Whoa, you can be charged with that even if it's not from the sea?
And just
That's kind
removing
of
it?
crazy.
Hang on.
Just removing it, even if you put it back, it's still allowed to get the pick.
Hang on. This sucks. Just real quick, I wanted to mention this. For some of you, this won't be live, obviously, but for everybody else who is live, rip to a real one. Catherine O'Hara has died at 71 years old, famous for her work in the Home Alone movie and Best in Show. Catherine O'Hara has passed away at 71 years old. Just coming over right now. Catherine O'Hara, legendary actress, dead at 71. She died on Friday. This says he was Macaulay Culkin. She was Macaulay Culkin's mother in the first two Home Alone movies. She was also on Schitt's Creek. I totally forgot.
Yeah,
she was on Schitt's Creek. She was on Beetlejuice, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind. Her most recent work was opposite of Seth Rogen in the Apple TV Plus series The Studio.
Oh my God, I can't believe that.
Yeah, she earned an Emmy nomination for her work, but Catherine O'Hara, the legendary actress, dead at 71 years old. Sorry, go ahead, Seelan.
I don't know how to continue after that. I don't know how to continue.
That is a bummer.
I just thought I thought we had to work that in because she is an absolute legend in my mind in the comedy world.
David, stop acting like a disgruntled pelican.
I took a viral.
I believe we need to order some antibiotics.
Oh man,
she was 71 too. I mean, she was acting just recently.
Yeah,
here.
I know.
She's in upcoming movies that are. Oh man.
There was another show that she's been showing up in. Was it Shrinking that she was showing up in? There was another show that I liked a lot.
In the Building, I thought she was in the new season.
Something like that. Well,
she has been in so many amazing things where she was just. You could not reproduce what she did. You could not have another mom as Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone.
It's so weird because
you could not have another person playing the character she played in Best in Show. Like she was just one of a kind.
It's so funny because the Home Alone thing is really like her most famous movie, but it's not her best work. Like her best comedic work was in stuff like Schitt's Creek or Best in Show.
So good in Schitt's Creek.
All of Christopher Guest stuff. Oh my God.
All right, let me run through these real quick. It's okay. It was
I thought
important.
you were about to make a joke about tarpons.
I know. wait, was that you finding out? You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know what that tarpon and Catherine O'Hara have in common?
They're both dead.
I guess so. Damn, man.
That's all I got for you. I can't go any deeper than that.
Something else that's dead is this dog in Deltona.
All right.
And these kids need to be made an example of because this stupid challenge, which is just a fun word for crime in some cases, a teen is to be arrested, it says, but it may already have been, after a dog was killed after a viral door kick-in challenge. We're still doing the door kick-in challenge.
Not a good idea.
And they kicked in the door, and the dog got out and got hit by a car. So the owner of that house was devastated at the loss of their dog. Terry Schiavo was in the news. The family seeks to unseal guardianship 20 years after death. Didn't expect to see that name. Let's see. A man was charged with DUI after driving his car while it was on fire. And last but not least, this might be misuse of 911, but some people will be on this person's side. A Polk County deputy helped a caller who said there was a frog under her couch, and she was deathly afraid of frogs. She insisted the frog was huge and big. There was 2 frogs, and they were just regular size frogs. But she was deathly afraid, and 911 came to help. That's it for This Week in Florida. Rip Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Thank you, C-Lane. Oh, that's a bummer, man.
Man.
We don't know yet,
Broke
how.
my heart, man.
We don't know how, but when I saw it pop up and I saw her name, I said, "Oh no!" Like every once in a while, and like of course it's sad when anybody dies, and I know people often criticize this stuff on the show. They'll be like, "Who cares? You didn't know that person," which is such a dopey take.
The hell I don't. I've been growing up with Catherine O'Hara.
What percentage of Americans would you think have seen something that Catherine O'Hara has been in?
80
huge,
more?
Yeah, huge. Because the things that she chose were almost always, since the early 90s, almost always finger on the pulse of what is going to draw in an immediate and a long-term audience. Movies that weren't just a flash in the pan. Home Alone, obviously, one of the biggest movies of all time.
Yeah, I don't see how... Oh, the studio was where she was showing up.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
I think the new season, she's still going to be in it.
I don't see how you could get to a certain age and have never seen Home Alone. I wouldn't understand it.
Sabrina? Yeah.
I watched 75% of it this past holiday.
For Your Consideration, she was in. I haven't really seen that.
Oh, The Last of Us.
It's all the Last of Us. It's right. And that was a new role that wasn't even in the video game. But the group, Christopher Guest, like all those movies, For Your Consideration. There was like a folk music one. Obviously,
Mighty Wind.
Best in Show.
Yep.
And it was like the same, group of people. And you'd recognize a lot of them, but Catherine O'Hara was one of the top players in all of it.
I'll tell you what, I have a feeling I know what's about to happen in the Lane household. The same thing that happened when Diane Keaton died. We started having the Diane Keaton movie marathon. And, especially since, aside from going to a baby shower tomorrow, there is going to be not a lot to do.
Baby shower.
I have
They
planned the baby shower, I think, quite a bit before the weather started rolling in. Needless to say, I don't think there's much else that we'll be doing outside of the house, so I wouldn't be surprised if I would be reaching out for all of the Catherine O'Hara movies over the weekend.
God, she's in so much. I've just been scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and anytime I stop, I look at a movie that Catherine O'Hara, R.I.P., was in. Like, I just stopped at Beetlejuice, and it's not even just a movie. It's not even just a movie she was in. It's an unbelievable movie she was in, and then it's a role where she couldn't have been replicated. Like, you can't get anybody else to kind of do what she did. Anyhow, all right, there it is. Catherine O'Hara did.
Change the mood up in here, but I guess we did break it.
All I wanted to do was bring the story as it was happening to everybody, because I thought, damn, that's a big one. I mean, she's absolutely just a massive talent. So we'll give you any updates on how she died. 71 years old is quite young, all things considered, and she seemed to be doing all right, but something must have happened. So we'll look into what happened there and give you any updates as the show rolls on today. Stand by. By the way, somebody says, according to Google, Catherine O'Hara is not dead. Well, I'll put my name on it. All right,
it's everywhere.
she's dead, unfortunately. But we'll give you any updates on that as the show rolls on. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Drivers in the Orlando area can expect their normal delays on I-4 for those traveling by the major attractions exits between 192 and 535. Things are currently up to speed north and southbound on Florida's Turnpike. No delays to report for those traveling on the Beach Line or on the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
You can depend on Florida farmers. Our farm is where we live and work. It's where we raise our families and provide for yours. When you shop for Florida-grown fruits and vegetables, look for local. Choose Fresh from Florida, the homegrown brand of Florida farmers.
Newsflash, mortgage brokers are better. Why, you ask? Well, they do all of their loans through national wholesale lenders. It's still going to be your standard FHA, VA, or conventional loan, but mortgage brokers have access to dozens of wholesale banks competing for your business. And wholesale banks only loan through mortgage brokers like my friend, That Mortgage Guy Don. And That Mortgage Guy Don is the best because he made the process of getting a quote or comparing the quote you already have super easy. The process of shopping for a mortgage can be complicated and confusing. But not when it comes to That Mortgage Guy Don. You get a better deal on any home loan when you work with a broker, and you get the satisfaction of simplicity and honesty when you work with That Mortgage Guy Don. You want to see a difference? Go to the website, thatmortgageguydon.com, and compare your quote today. Plain and simple. No spam, no hassle, just peace of mind. Thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Eligibility and results may vary. If you're on Medicare and living in the Orlando area, getting great dental care doesn't have to be confusing or expensive. Sage Dental is here to help you understand your Medicare benefits and make your care as simple and affordable as possible. Whether you need a routine cleaning or advanced care like implants, crowns, oral surgery, or custom dentures, Sage Dental brings all your dental needs conveniently together under one roof. At Sage, we use the latest in dental innovation, including minimally invasive techniques for more comfort and faster healing. Need a crown? Sage can create same-day custom crowns right in our office. In addition to Medicare, we accept most insurance plans. No insurance? Our Sage Care Plus plan can save you up to 65% on general or specialty dental care. Sage Dental, leading with innovation centered on your care. Same-day appointments available. Call 800-218-8877. 800-218-8877. That's 800-218-8877.
You can feel the excitement in the air at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand, and Ocala. But we fumbled. We ordered way too many Mitsubishis, plus truckloads of pre-owned. Now we'll accept any reasonable offer. Fumble! Customer.
Stand by, everybody, stand by.
We have way too many new Mitsubishis. Outlander SUVs with 0% financing for 60 months and too many pre-owned. There's a flag on the plane. It looks like credit interference. No problem. We have banks and credit unions ready to lend with low rates. But hurry, when they're gone, they're gone. Take a lane drive to RC Hill Mitsubishi. In DeLand, just 2 miles off I-4. DeLand and Ocala. RCHill.com. RCHill.com.
Look, your body's unique, so why settle for a one-size-fits-all wellness plan? That's where Viome comes in. Viome uses advanced science to analyze your gut biome with a simple at-home test, so you know exactly what foods and supplements are right for you, all based on real data from your own body. You know what? That's science you can trust. Go to Viome.com now and use promo code THRIVE to save $50 on your full body intelligence test. That's VIOME.com, promo code THRIVE to save $50.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant.
Okay, everybody.
Located at Point Orlando.
Sorry I had to post that on social.
And the LEO Comedy Jam.
How are we doing? Is the stream okay? Are we surviving? Are we sputtering? How are things going?
Calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available.
I'm worried.
Discounts for all guests. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com. We'll see.
Stream is good, but I'm bummed out. I'm sorry.
Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at that.
I'm sorry. That's frustrating.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really
Seems
wants
good?
to
Okay.
If you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will.
Thriving in chat, stream is good. Numbers suck. I hate that. We were like peaking out, numbers thriving, and then the show cuts in half, and people who have it on somewhere just go, oh, okay, I guess that's it for today.
That includes things like guardianship,
God.
kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives.
Well, hello to all 5 of you that are left.
Loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl. We'll get some Super Bowl drama out there. We got Mo DeWitt joining us in a bit, and he's got some stuff that he's announcing.
.com/PLAN. Think you know what's
Thanks, Ruth. Appreciate you.
Call in with DraftKings Predictions, a new app where you can predict.
And we got to talk about, in fact, I think we'll talk about it next. We have to talk about this Luigi Mangione prison escape by a fake FBI agent. It is unbelievable. Can't wait for you to see this. 1 minute.
Simple to use with big game trading available here in Florida.
Stand by.
New DraftKings Predictions customers get up to a $75 first trade bonus with promo code WTKS. Don't just feel it, predict it with DraftKings Predictions. The crown is yours. DraftKings Predictions is a CFTC registered introducing broker. Event contract trading involves substantial risk of loss. One per new customer, opt-in required. Non-withdrawable predictions dollars expire in 1 year. Ends February 8th, 2026. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at dkng.co/predictions promo.
The path to the Bay is officially locked in. A rematch of New England.
All right, here we go.
Restrictions apply. See terms at dkng.co/predictions promo.
The path to the Bay is officially locked in. A rematch of New England and Seattle. And iHeartRadio has your complete football coverage. Dive deep into early takes with the official NFL Podcast Network.
Welcome to NFL Daily.
And go live with Fox Sports Radio to join the conversation.
The two best road teams in the NFL.
Plus, iHeart is the home of the Super Bowl 60 tailgate concert presented by NetApp. Just open the iHeartRadio app and search NFL to dive in.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. B-A-N-K. Bank. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is
of the week. My God. And it's true. It's absolutely true. I'll give you all the details on one of the big shockers this week in a moment. You can get on the show with your thoughts, your opinions, or even your ravings and rants. Well, those are fine, too, over at thenewsjunkie.com. Send what we call a dispatch. I'll take a look at what you send in. Audio or video dispatches will get played back on the show. And you can also email tips, T-I-P-S, at thenewsjunkie.com. Okay, this is an absolutely true story. And I'll bring up some visuals for those of you who are brave enough to watch over on YouTube. Go check out the stream, YouTube and Twitch, all right? You can watch youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. And there is a story about Luigi Mangione, of all people, all right? And Luigi Mangione he's in prison in New York, obviously, for killing this CEO of the healthcare company, United Healthcare. Mm-hmm. And he learned this week that he's not going to face the death penalty, which is kind of a win for his legal team.
Has the trial happened yet? The trial did happen, no?
The trial did not happen.
Okay,
no,
that's what I thought.
No, yeah, they've got a ways to go before.
But they're in like pre-trial stuff, and the judge has. It's weird how they described it, because the reason he's not going to face the death penalty is because the judge has dropped the murder charges,
right?
But has kept the stalking charges, and we learned from Mo DeWitt previously that the murder charges in New York are kind of weird. Like, you remember he had that domestic terrorism charge? It wasn't first degree.
It kind of sounds, if you're not paying real close attention, like they're going to let him off, and they're trying. Oh, he killed the healthcare CEO, so actually we think this is.
When I saw the headline, I was like, "What the hell? Wait, what?"
Yeah, it sounds worse than it is. It really is a probably pretty impossible case for him to win because he murdered a dude, but he's not going to get the death penalty. However, here's the story that kind of I think is crazy to me. A man impersonating an FBI agent tried to get Luigi Mangione out of jail, authorities said.
Okay.
This is real, and I'm going to show you what the guy had on him in a second. A man claiming to be an FBI agent showed up to a federal jail in New York City on Wednesday night. He told officers he had a court order to release Luigi Mangione. He's now locked up there too. It'd be awkward if he saw Luigi behind bars. Like, hey, man.
You know why I'm here?
Yeah, the strangest thing happened on the way in. Mark Anderson, a 36-year-old Minnesota native who has a history of drug and other arrests, and disclosed last year in court papers that he suffers from mental illness, was arrested and charged with impersonating a federal officer, all in a foiled bid to free Mangione from the Metropolitan Detention Center.
They gave him Diddy instead.
Mangione is being held at the notorious Brooklyn jail while waiting state and federal murder trials. He's got both state and federal charges he's up on, and the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. A criminal complaint against Anderson did not identify the person he attempted to free, but law enforcement said it was Luigi Mangione. So he goes in and he goes, I've got papers. They were signed by a judge. And the person goes, wait, what? And he throws all the papers that he has, these documents. He throws his documents up in the air. And they said, sir, what the hell are you doing here? Let me see your credentials. When asked for his federal credentials, since he said he was an FBI agent, this guy showed them a Minnesota driver's license.
Perfect.
Threw documents at them and claimed to have weapons, the criminal complaint says. The documents appear to be related to filing claims against the justice. Identification is Minnesota ID and a pizza cutter, which is like a pizza roll cutter thing.
Yeah, it's not the one that you would normally see that has a handle.
No, that's
unless
from
he broke
a
the handle
restaurant.
off. It is?
Like Mo one of these is Mo merch for Mo DeWitt, justcallmo.com. And it's like you hold
How
this
did I miss
plastic
the
thing.
Mo pizza cutter?
Oh yeah, he had one for a while, and you roll it. It's like a little rounded type thing that you roll to cut pizza. He had a pizza cutter, a grill fork, and he said, "I'm here to free Luigi Mangione. I'm an FBI agent." And it was like, okay, all right. He did not get in there. Well, he did actually get in there. He just didn't get in there to free the person he was looking to free.
Safe to say he works in the food industry.
Yes, he had a job at a pizza place, which apparently did not go well. And then from there,
Because
he began.
stole all their utensils.
He must have done that on the way up. But from there, he began with his plan to free Luigi. But
I don't even know why a
unsuccessful.
pizza place would use a cutter like that. It seems kind of slow.
He moved to New York for a job opportunity and started working at a Bronx pizzeria. And when that fell through, he had been living in the city since at least 2023. And then he had also filed handwritten lawsuits against the Pentagon, Chinese and Russian ambassadors.
Okay, yeah, this guy's not fit for a trial.
At handwritten lawsuits.
The only handwritten lawsuit is filed by a crazy person or an inmate
Or someone who listens to the show. We got those mailed to us at one point, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdos that do it that way. It's kind of an indicator, that something strange is going on with that person. So there you go. And now he'll be behind bars himself. Meanwhile, next weekend, not this weekend, is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl ad prices are skyrocketing, as you can imagine.
unless you get your ad denied.
Yeah, then you can just say, they refused it. The banned ad. Here you go. $10 million is what these ads are costing for 30 seconds in front of the audience watching the Super Bowl for the February 8th broadcast on NBC.
Would we call the Super Bowl Vision's largest audience? Is there something that more people watch?
This is one of the biggest, if not the big.
That's always the big viewership, obviously, but
each year.
Are you talking about like one event that may have been bigger than that?
Yeah.
Wasn't the Oprah interview with Michael Jackson still one of the biggest audiences in history? Or
oh yeah,
is that
there are
long
bigger
gone?
there are bigger broadcast audiences, especially older ones. But I think each year the Super Bowl tends to be the most watched televised event. It tends to be the number one thing, and that's why they get $10 million for these 30-second spots.
The global records, and some of these things might not even have advertising, but the global records would be the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. 1.9 billion.
Wow.
Yep.
A Live Aid concert that says 1.5 to 2 billion. Muhammad Ali's boxing matches, even back in the 1970s, 1 to 2 billion.
It's crazy.
The first live global satellite program, Our World, had 700 million.
Unbelievable. It is absolutely astonishing that many people still tune in for. This is like the one thing where everybody comes together and watches. Not all of you, of course, but a lot of people do. And Super Bowl 60 tickets are also the second highest priced ever. The average price to see the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots live and not on TV is around $6,100 for each ticket. So there you go. More Super Bowl drama on the way. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email the show. Tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. Back with Jury Duty. That's coming up next. Plus, on Monday on the show, I didn't even realize with all this stuff going on, it's Groundhog time. Puxatawny Phil is Monday, February 2nd.
That's right, Woodchuck Chuckers. It's Groundhog Day.
It's happening on Monday on the show. We'll see what goes down with that. We got a whole lot more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Feminine dog to have a poodle.
A standard poodle. That dog's a beast.
Yeah, they're big dogs.
I love them. I would have
Are you
one.
talking-
I'm not afraid of being gay.
You're
I'm just
gay,
telling
bro.
you. People used to say that if you had a poodle, you were gay. And I don't.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Discover.
The Magic are back on the facing the Raptors. In college hoops, UCF is back in action tomorrow, hosting number 11 Texas Tech, while number 21 Florida returns Sunday to face number 23 Alabama in Gainesville. The Patriots and Seahawks held their first Super Bowl practice on Thursday. Quarterback Drake limited with injuries ahead of the February 8th game in Santa Clara. I'm Seth Everett.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Going to be a cold one this weekend. Into the 20s, 24 degrees Saturday going into Sunday. It's going to be very, very cold. So you might want to turn on your heater at your house. And whether you've tried and it's not working, or you think, hey, I haven't used that in so long, I'm worried about it, there's a company ready to help you out to make sure you're comfortable as cold as it may get in Central Florida this weekend. That is, of course, Mills Air, a Carrier factory authorized dealer. They're a family owned and operated, locally owned and operated company. They have the best techs out there. So whatever issue you're having with your air conditioner, your HVAC, whatever you want to call it, the folks at Mills Air will be able to get you up and running real fast. And they're honest about everything. So 277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online, millsair.com.
New year, new you isn't just about changing who you are. It's about showing up sharper and more. And that's why I love Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys. It's not just a barbershop. It's total man care. Haircut, beard, hot towel, and a drink in your hand. With locations across Central Florida, they're offering a New Year reset.
Kids, we're almost there. The map says straight ahead.
One-a-day 50-plus multivitamins are made for your overall health, with nutrients to support your brain and muscle function. Because don't you want to make the most of each day? So even on the family hike, you're not just keeping the pace.
Hey, Dad, wait up.
You're one step ahead. One-a-day 50-plus. The one for you. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Looking for a workout that doesn't feel like a workout? At Crush Yard, wellness is all about movement, connection, and fun, no matter your skill level. Whether you've never picked up a paddle or you play every week, pickleball gets your body moving and your stress levels down. adding great food, refreshing drinks, and a social atmosphere, and it's wellness you actually want to show up for. Learn more at crushyard.com.
Well, historic utility rate hikes are coming, the biggest in U.S. history, but you can fight back with Solar Source. Whole homes, $89 a month with no money down. Guaranteed performance and maintenance included. I love my solar panels. They've been saving me money for years. Now you can get on board with solar and save up to 40% on your power bill immediately. And you can get exclusive savings when you tell them Jack from Real Radio sent you. Visit solarsource.com/monsters or call now and lock in your rate before energy prices rise.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare and you, our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-978-1515. That's 800-978-1515.
Watching football this weekend? Get the Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut for just $10. It's our biggest pizza for the biggest games. Giant foldable slices, huge flavor. So order now at pizzahut.com or in the app. Ask for limited time offer. Prices, participation, and availability may vary. Additional charge for extra toppings, max 3, and extra cheese. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee not included.
Now that a new year is here, start 2026 by showing your gratitude. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, celebrating the incredible impact of public school educators. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life who's gone above and beyond for their students to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom. Teachers give their time, money, and hearts to help students succeed. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Get all the info and nominate a teacher who goes the extra mile today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is
And we'll get into all things happening in courtrooms around the country. We'll also talk to our friend Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm momentarily. And God bless you for hanging out with us today. You've got lots of things out there to pull your attention away, but thanks for being with us here and learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Before we get into jury duty, a couple of emails coming in that I wanted to mention. Somebody talking about with the cold hitting this weekend about tire pressure. It says Brandon to tips@thenewsjunkie.com has emailed, don't fill your tires to the recommended pressure on the car's door jamb. That's only if you have the vehicle manufacturer's preferred tires. If you bought tires or if it's a used vehicle, the tires don't match the manufacturer's spec, you'll fill the tires to the pressure listed on the tires themselves, which I didn't even think of, but that's actually a good point, and I appreciate you sending that over.
But what about for the freezing cold weather? Are we just going to leave them be, or do we fill them because they're going to go down in pressure?
I mean, I guess it depends on when I get into the car and it's cold, as everybody experiences, it's one of those things where you see that the tire pressure thing has gone off, and then, like C-Lane said, sometimes if you just let it go and it warms up, and like the temperature warms up in a week or something, it just goes away. So, I mean, I would just use that to look at your tires and feel that you don't have a flat tire going on. But
my dashboard looks so pretty, though, with all the different lights going on.
Oh, God, like a Christmas tree. This is what happens, this time of year. I'll say, let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. I think we're going to talk to him probably at the top of the hour or so. We'll see what's going on with our friend Moses DeWitt. And I know he's got some things he wants to talk about, some events that he's launching. We'll get into all of that. Right now, let's talk about a famous Olympian Now, I think she was maybe more famous. Wasn't this the woman, Sha'Carri Richardson? Wasn't she the one who was like the stoner who got booted out of the Olympics or something? It was the same lady, right?
I mean, yes, there was something to do with a negative drug test, but she's also a massive
positive drug test, right?
What'd I say? Yeah, positive.
Negative, yeah.
It went negatively for her.
Record holder. Badass.
Okay, she is in trouble now for something totally different. I don't know if this is a record. Maybe it might be a record, but she finds herself in trouble. Olympian Sha'Carri Richardson has been arrested because she went over 100 miles per hour in the state of Florida.
That'll do it.
Speed.
Yeah, we keep seeing the stories about this happening with people out there on the roads. And if you are busted for dangerous excessive speeding, you go to jail. Like, you actually go to jail. They've been doing a big crackdown in Florida on this. And Sha'Carri Richardson, it says Olympic gold medalist and one of the world's fastest women ever on the track, has been arrested in Florida and accused of driving over 100 miles per hour. The 25-year-old sprinter was arrested and booked into Orange County Jail on Thursday on a charge of dangerous excessive speeding at 100 miles per hour or more, according to
what a time to
records.
mention that you're one of the fastest women
in
Olympic history.
The reason why I said maybe setting a record, if you looked at Olympians who got speeding tickets or arrests for speeding, she's got to have some sort of a record for that now, I would think. But she's been bonded out, or the bond was set at least at $500. I'm sure she had posted the bond as of now. She has had a lot of issues.
Man, all of that to go through for a $500 bond.
Yeah. It says in August she was arrested on allegations that she assaulted her boyfriend at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. She later issued an apology on social media. The incident report indicated Richard's boyfriend, Christian Coleman, did not want to press charges. In 2021, she was suspended for a month after testing positive for THC, the chemical in cannabis, at the 2021 U.S. Olympic trials, which barred her from competing in her signature event at the Tokyo Games. And now she has a problem for driving in Florida at over 100 miles per hour. She was booked into Orange County Jail. Not great for her, and bad timing all around. Also, the other story I wanted to hit on here in jury duty, you got to be careful out there. Now, I might be wrong. I'm not an expert in the field of cosmetic surgery, I wouldn't say either. But I do watch a lot of news stories, as you know, from listening to the show. And it feels to me like the trend of getting all the BBLs and that stuff done is dying down a little bit. I think we've gone past peak big ass, and perhaps we've moved on to some other things here. But still, you have to be careful, because there is a woman who is in big trouble in New York right now. A woman from Central Asia is accused of pretending to be a doctor on social media and performing a Brazilian butt lift, or a BBL, surgery on a woman who then developed a severe, life-threatening infection. This woman is from Uzbekistan, and she nearly killed the victim in this case. Shukurova is charged with assault, unauthorized practice of a profession, criminal possession of a weapon, and reckless endangerment, all because she was doing these Brazilian butt lifts at this secret location that she had at some like beauty salon in Brooklyn that was not equipped to handle this sort of surgery.
It makes you wonder that those posing as doctors, which I feel like I've heard that line right before, been arrested, almost killed someone. On social media, is there not any standards? The big hype is AI, and a lot of platforms are like, this has been created as AI, or some community guidelines. What about people posing and getting clients as doctors and putting people's lives at risk?
That's huge.
There has to be some sort of, I don't know, checkup, don't you think?
Well,
or is that on the person who's trying to get their services?
There are. The problem is when these stories pop up, sometimes it's too late because somebody has like a problem, like this person does. A BBL, again, as best I know, is no joke in terms of cosmetic surgeries.
Oh, it's a massive surgery.
They're cutting your butt open and shoving stuff in there.
More
right?
butt.
Yeah. This is a big surgery, right? This is a dangerous one. It's a real deal. PF on YouTube says, Sean needs to travel to Miami if he doesn't see enough crazy BBL and duck lips. I didn't say either of those things. What I said was I feel like the overall trend of getting that cosmetic procedure done is on the decline. I think we've peaked on the BBL side, and I think we're coming down the other side, and less people are getting that done. You're still going to see a lot of people out there with them until it turns into like 90s boobs. And then all of a sudden you start looking around and people get them removed, or you're like, oh, that lady still has one of those. Remember when those were big? She has one of those big butts. That's right. And you tell your kids, people used to get stuff shoved in there. They used to get this stuff done. I think that's where we're at on the BBL front. I could be wrong, but I think that's probably trend-wise where we find ourselves. All right, we want to see what you have to say. Send in your dispatches. I'll play one right now since I haven't been playing too many of these. But let's get to, here is Waterboys with a video dispatch talking about, I guess, maybe our sprinklers during this.
So not sure if Sean's actually going to play this because I'm on that list of terrible people that, send dispatches.
You're not.
This one's actually informative. Yes, for your sprinkler systems, if you know how to do it, which, believe it or not, many people don't, turn them off.
Turn them off?
For the nights that we're going to have the freeze. You can actually do more damage to the system than not. So do that. Another side note.
Turn them all the way off.
Sean, every time the Twitch stream goes down, my Twitch stream also is going down. So it's something with Twitch.
Interesting.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. You have no idea how much Sean is just like pulling his hair out over this thing. So, Waterboys, Nathan, thank you.
Of course I am. I want everything to be perfect with the show.
So do I. I'm not coming down on you for it. I'm just saying It's nice to hear that it's not something that's just us.
Yeah, I wonder, let me know, Waterboys, if you're using Restream, because I don't know if I should blame Restream or if it's possible that like both of the streaming sites are having problems. There's something weird going on. Anyhow, thanks for bearing with us over the last couple of days on the stream. Hopefully next week will be absolutely perfect with no problems. YouTube and twitch.tv/The News Junkie. I have to work this in, though, because I hate to put out any sort of misinfo. Pink Sock King says, do not listen to that Dip S that said to fill up your tires to what it says on the tire. The number on the tire
this is exactly the windshield wipers up or windshield wipers down. It's going to be, two camps fighting each other on this. The videos galore on YouTube, I'm sure.
Well, this person says the number on the tire is the max pressure the tire can handle. Always fill up your tires to manufacturer specifications.
So the guy that emailed said basically everybody should be filling their tires up to the maximum allowed pressure.
All right. I am in such bad territory in all of these fields today.
It makes sense for the manufacturer. The tires are holding up the car weight.
It's not that I don't want to believe Pink Sock King, but allow me to toss out one thing, and you guys tell me if this sounds crazy or not. You know how you see, let's say there's a truck that has big tires on it. Well, if that truck got big giant tires on it and stuff, and they looked at the door jamb and the manufacturer and how many PSI they say is supposed to be on the tires, I think the previous person was right. Like the tires would be different than the truck usually needs because they're completely different size tires. So I think they would be right in that case. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Truck's a whole different thing.
It doesn't matter. Like if you have a car you get like really wide rims or low profile tires, you're going to have something I would think that would be out of step with the manufacturer's suggestion in the door jamb, but I don't want that to be wrong either. So let's get that cleared up in the final hour of the show. Car people, mechanics, whoever. All right, tips at thenewsjunkie.com or send it a dispatch on thenewsjunkie.com right now. When we come back, Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Mo is going to be joining us. And not only will Mo be joining us, we have some questions for him. We also have to talk about Groundhog Day, which is next week. That's one of the many things on the horizon right there. I've got clips galore that we haven't gotten to in the last day or so, including a Batman freak out. Oh, my God, we're loaded up. And some of it will happen. At least some of it will happen. And it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Wherever your plans take you on Super Sunday, you can can take the big game with you. From the opening kickoff to the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy, Real Radio 104.1 is the home of Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 60.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic's backed up on Florida's Turnpike northbound before US 27. There's a crash block in the left lane there. On I-4, you're going to get stuck in some familiar delays. Morning traffic's cleared up mostly, although 676-477 from the Traffic Center. I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
How are we?
At Rasmussen University, not only can you
Are you
pursue your
alive?
education goals with dedicated support, but when you get started on campus, you could qualify to pursue them with a new laptop. Learn more at rasmussen.edu. That's rasmussen.edu.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. Download a free home buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
Join Real Radio at Lake Eola Park in downtown Orlando for the largest
Great.
ag festival in the United States. Cause in the Park. Saturday, February 7th. This family pet-friendly event is free and open to the public, but you can fundraise today to help support the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando.
I'm exhausted from inflating and deflating my tires with each dispatch.
Pet Alliance saved over 4,000 dogs and cats this year. Providing shelter, care, and love until they find their forever home. Get more details at realradio.fm/events.
All right, it looks like we're streaming. How has it been? Have we had more dropouts? I only have two theories right now. Theory number one, especially with the Waterboy guys comment, the Waterboys dude said that his stream is going out when mine is going out. So even though I don't see people talking about Twitch going down, there must be something happening there. But because I don't see people complaining about Twitch going down, I feel like it's a restream issue. That's my guess. Catherine O'Hara dead? Yeah, we talked about that. He was a Twitch stream we rated yesterday? Yeah, I mean, that must be no coincidence that he's having issues. He tries to stream all the time, and I'm having issues over here. There's no way that's a coincidence. Audio and video were not synced for most of the last segment, but I didn't have drops. I mean, I'm not even going to mess with that. Yes, I use Restream. Twitch goes through that, but YouTube doesn't, and YouTube has been fine. I bet it's Restream. I bet that's what it is. If they don't get that shit fixed, I'll email them this weekend. Thank you, Water Boys. That's helpful information. Here's the deal. The power hour is on, and I'm just trying to get out of this week. I promise you, I will message the Restream people and tell them that obviously something is going wrong here, and hopefully get that solved for next week. Don Lemon's stream is working perfectly. Ain't that the truth? Lemon Squeezy, streaming easy. YouTube has not been fine.
You're going to find that the quality and
How about right now?
condition of the watches looks very
Can you hear me now?
the way that you'd want it. You're not going to see the difference when you shop at IDC between the ones that you get at your authorized dealer and what we have.
Stand by, folks.
Like the authorized Rolex dealers, IDC has all the models.
See, Len, what do we have for 8s? I know I've missed one.
You want a Batman?
I only have 1215. That's all I have.
We did not time 11:30.
Mall at Millennium.
And
BJ's.
then we've done another one here. Oh, we have 1:15.
115? Do you know what that was?
1:15. Stand by.
Everything from appetizers and snacks to giant party subs to TVs even bigger than the giant party subs. Plus, you can pick up the supplies you'll need to clean up after. Go to bjs.com/biggame for details and make your place the place to watch.
Oh, the breaking what's his face out of jail, Mangione.
Okay.
Dental care doesn't have to be confusing or expensive. Sage Dental is here to help you understand your Medicare benefits and make your
Okay, that leaves us with 2. You want to do one right here?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm pretty sure now that this is a restream issue, which I'll email them about over the weekend and try to get that fixed.
Innovation, including minimally invasive healing. Need a crown? Sage can create.
If it keeps doing it and they don't get it fixed, we should probably just directly stream to YouTube until that's resolved. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Sage Care Plus plan can save you up to 65%. Sage can create same-day custom crowns right in our office. In addition to Medicare, we accept most insurance plans. No insurance? Our Sage Care Plus plan can save you up to 65% on general or specialty dental care. Sage Dental, leading with innovation centered on your care. Same-day appointments available. Call 800-218-8877. 800-218-8877. That's 800-218-8877.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. M-O-N-E-Y. Money. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This
A nightmare, an absolute nightmare. In just a moment here on the show, welcome into the world's most viral newsroom. Learn more about the show by going over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. One of the things that is really grabbing a lot of headlines today is that Don Lemon has been arrested, I guess, over this event where he went into a church. They were calling it a protest, but they blazed into this church and stopped all of the folks from doing their thing. You know, it was on a Sunday service, and they were screaming at these folks. They were confronting and screaming at the pastor. The stories that followed said that a bunch of little kids were there, and they were in a daycare portion of the church on this Sunday when Don Lemon and his people came through there. And the kids were incredibly scared. They didn't know what was going on as protesters were shouting things like Nazi at their parents who were in the church.
What's a Nazi?
So it was like pandemonium. The kids thought there might be some sort of shooting or something going on. All of this is detestable behavior. You shouldn't be protesting, whatever you want to call it, in these religious spaces. A church is just not the place for that kind of nonsense. But caught up in it all is Don Lemon, and they're charging him under the FACE Act. And I want to go over that a little bit. We have some legal questions. We have a lot of stuff here. Let's welcome our friend Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. There he is. Yeah, baby.
Good day, senor.
Moses, we have lots of questions for you. But my take on this was, and tell me if you think I was way off on this, and you could pull up the FACE Act if you want to take a look. If you want to take a look and see if there's more about that you need to know. But the FACE Act is what these protesters and then Don Lemon have been charged under. The FACE Act was historically built to stop people from harassing, assaulting, or protesting people at abortion clinics and also places of worship, churches, et cetera, et cetera. I think by the letter of this FACE law that they've charged him under, I think they probably have these people, a bunch of them, who aren't Don Lemon, who went in and got up in people's faces, and when they were told to leave on multiple occasions, did not leave. They refused to leave the church. They wanted to do their thing. But Don Lemon, we can argue about this all day long, he's going in there under at least the guise that he's a journalist, and he's covering a thing that's unfolding and happening in real time. So to me, I think he'll probably squeak away from this. But seeing an event like this and people going into a church service and trying to do some sort of protest there as the sermon's going on, do you see any trouble for these folks? Do you think that they might end up with some sort of sentence as a result of this? What's your gut?
Well, it all boils down to the facts, Sean. So what are the facts here? I mean, the FACE Act, as I think you kind of alluded to earlier, basically, if somebody uses force, a threat of force, or physical obstruction to either injure, intimidate, or interfere with, or attempt to do any of those things from a person lawfully exercising or seeking to exercise their First Amendment right to religion, that can violate the FACE Act. So it's going to come down to really what did they do inside the church. I haven't seen any of the videos. I don't know any of the first-hand accounts personally. Did Don Lemon participate in this? Was he just covering as a journalist and observing? Those are all the things that they're going to be looking at as far as whether a conviction is actually possible here.
Yeah, how do you determine whether somebody is participating in the role of a participant or just covering? Because he was recording them, but he also was like talking to the pastor guy and like peppering him with questions during this. Again, you might say, well, that's because I'm a journalist, you know?
Right.
It really is. Does that just come down to a jury's interpretation of the facts?
Yeah, I think it does here. So it's going to be a question of was he trying to intimidate or interfere with their right to exercise their First Amendment right of religion. And so whether the questions were, somewhat intimidating or whether they were just journalistic questions of what's going on. So those are the kinds of things that a jury would ultimately have to decide is it an act of intimidation or interference, or is it just an act where they're covering the incident that is going on at the time?
If they claim that he was involved in some sort of planning of this, or that he's taking a bigger role, he knew what was going on, he's kind of orchestrating this with them a little bit, that probably changes his role, I would guess, suggesting that he was just a journalist covering this.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's not uncommon for, protests or certain activities to contact journalists to have them come out and document what's going on. I think, here under the FACE Act, at least the real question is, was he a journalist or was he a participant? So was he there solely to document this and report upon it, or was he actively participating in this and actually intimidating or interfering with these people's ability to exercise their First Amendment right of religion?
That's where this is all going to go next, so we'll keep an eye on the story as that moves forward. Now on to what I told you was a nightmare. File this away, and Sean's nightmare files. Floating away into space is one of them. Being way too deep in ocean waters is another one.
Wood chipper death, I believe.
Oh, my God. That's always a bad one, Sabrina. I don't want to be in a wood chipper, and I don't want this to happen to me.
Leaving the house.
Leaving the house is not on the list, Moses. Thanks for the same joke over and over and over, though.
That's what I'm here
Appreciate
for.
that.
10 years, consistent.
Man crushed in a local garbage truck has survived, and this is on my list of absolute massive fears.
Oh, gross.
And according to this story, I'm looking at this from WKRG, a man was crushed not once but twice
3 times
in a garbage truck in Jackson, Alabama, they said. And this is a first for a lot of the...
How did you end up there, my dude?
Good question. Emergency officials responded to a call of a person being compressed in a garbage truck at 5:30 in the morning. And so he gets into the garbage truck. I believe he called 911 or something. And he was sleeping in the dumpster because it was cold outside.
Has a cell phone with plan. Sleeps in dumpster. Got it.
Hobos 2026, United States of America. I guess this does happen. I think it was the case. I'm not 100% sure that he was on the phone, but he was homeless, sleeping in the dumpster because it was so cold. And this guy gets picked up by the garbage truck. and then the garbage truck hits the button, the compression button that squishes all the garbage down, and the guy survives it. He survives it. Next thing you know, it crushes in on him again. They're doing it a second time.
Because that's how the machine works.
Because they go over and over and over, and this guy was still stuck in there.
Must have smelled so bad.
When the driver, one person was watching all this, and when the driver arrived at Popeyes, he heard a man calling for help. He said, it's really fortunate that the gates at Popeyes were closed and the driver had to get out. Otherwise, he never would have heard him. When he exited the dump truck, he could hear the man in the back needing help, and that's when he shut everything down. What an absolute nightmare in the back of a garbage truck.
He did the nightmare to himself, did he not?
If he wasn't sleeping in there in the dumpster, he'd have been A-okay, but I guess he was a little cold. Let us know what you think. Is that on your nightmare list? Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, Mo is with us. Mo, I've been told that you have a new event that you're involved with that's coming up here before too long. All I know is that has something to do with, I think, golfing, which is, I hadn't attached you to that sport yet, but tell us what we need to know.
I mean, how could you not attach me to the sport of golf?
Have you seen his calves?
Clearly, I'm an athlete.
Yes.
I'm a very skilled athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Some might say I'm a miniature athlete.
Which all leads to what?
Miniature golf.
There we go.
The Just Call Mo.
Is Mini Mo going to be there?
He definitely will be there. And there might be some other mini people, too. We don't know yet.
Oh.
But it's the Just Call Mo Mini Masters. And this is another.
I saw that logo. It was very bold.
Very bold. Maybe some trademark infringement. We won't talk about that.
Really? I was like, oh, gosh, our attorney's trying to get sued.
Hey, okay, come on.
I did put a TM after the Mini Masters part, which means I own it now. So
hang on.
That's the way the law works.
Yep.
Where can I see this?
Go to justcallmo.com/golf.
Yeah. Justcallmo.com/golf. This is where you can get the tickets and stuff too.
It is.
Mini Masters, which sounds really fun, actually. This is a fun idea for an
perfect,
event.
and not like the pressure of having to be good at golf or just amongst
Walking.
people who think that they're great at golf.
Yeah.
It cuts all the bad stuff out of golf, the more I think about
And
it.
it adds what? Free drinks, free food.
Yeah, so it's going to be 18 holes of miniature golf at Congo River on I Drive. Every dollar raised goes directly to the Fane House, which is a great local charity that helps people who have aged out of the foster care system. But on every hole, we have beers and White Claw. We got free food provided by Jimmy Hula's. And it's going to be a great time. There may be some bagpipers, some confetti cannons. We don't know. Going to be wild and crazy.
Is this one of those mini golf places where there's alligators to
we got
feed?
alligators, baby.
Conga is one of the legendary, staple mini golf places. Has been featured in movies. I believe has not been updated for decades. And it is one of the most iconic Orlando mini golf places, from what I understand.
It is. Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the ones where it's like you see in the movies, with the next level kind of golf holes, which is pretty fun. Is there, and this is just a sidebar here, just between us gals, is there a professional level of mini golf? Does that exist? Is that a thing?
That's a great question. I think, putt-putt is a trademarked form of mini golf, and they may have a semi-professional tournament type thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't know.
So
if
it'd be for lack of sounding stupid here, would it be even saying that sounded stupid? That made no sense. But so playing regular golf.
For lack of sounding stupid here,
for playing regular golf, but only doing the putting green.
Exactly. So they do have the World Mini Golf Sport Federation, the WMF, over 40,000 registered players worldwide.
All right.
Pro players utilize precise, calculated techniques to master consistent surfaces, often aiming for holes in one on every hole to win tournaments like the Masters in Myrtle Beach.
But let's be real with each other.
Sure.
No regular ass people know of high level professional mini golf. So there's some potential here. I think, if I'm honest with you, if I'm flipping through ESPN and they have some next level competitive mini golf,
but that includes a hard
that.
course.
Yeah,
where you're trying to get into the hole after some fire breathing dragon.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Happens. I don't know. It's been a long time.
lots of like different things windmill wise that are blocking the hole. I'm into that. Just Call Mo Mini Masters is the name of the event. There are not a ton of tickets for this, from what I heard.
No, there's not, because there's only 18 holes. And, you know, we have 6 people per hole. And some people have asked, you know, are you playing all 18 holes? Because basically it's a shotgun start. So everybody starts on a different hole. But yes, you play 18 holes with your group of 6. It's teams of 3. You go through, there will be awards. But I think, you know, really miniature sports are the way of the future.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yes. And so
I think so.
We're really, you know, kind of pioneering this effort. And again, it's
Can
all
we do
for
mini
charity.
soccer next?
Mini soccer, you know, that might be called what's a foosball?
Foosball.
Yeah, miniature tennis, ping pong.
True.
Miniature wrestling.
I think
Miniature
ping pong is also one of those terms that you just like think of all the time, but it is trademarked by somebody. Because
All right, pong ping then.
I remember going to like some bar event where the people couldn't call it ping pong; they had to call it something else, and I was like, that seems silly.
Table tennis or something like that.
Yeah.
When I get a ticket on this website, is the ticket for a team or is the ticket for just me and I got to get 2 other people with tickets? How does that work?
So the ticket is individual, but basically you can, if you have some friends and stuff, you all want to play together, you just buy that hole or buy a few tickets on that hole. And then you're going to all start together and work your way through the course
That's
together.
fun.
And all of the money for this, all the money that's brought in, all proceeds are going to this place, the Fane House.
Yes.
Which is for young adults who have aged out of foster care, which I recently saw you doing something with
Yeah, he's done
somebody
stuff
who
for
was
the
like-
Fane House before, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I just saw somebody who was an older person that just aged out of foster care, according to Just Call Mo social media.
We there was an individual who needed a bike to get to work, and we helped him get a new bike. That's correct.
That's very nice. That's sweet.
Yeah.
You just don't stop with that charity, Moses.
By the way, can I say something? I don't know if the Fane House would like this or not.
Okay.
But I find this to be an important charity that probably goes ignored over the big charities like cancer and different things that might, get more press and stuff. But kids in the foster care situation, especially older ones, are much more likely to end up homeless and to end up with all sorts of problems, socially and otherwise in their life. They end up more likely to be on the track to be a criminal that ends up in jail and all this stuff. So this is a group of people that can benefit greatly from resources, and then the overall public benefits greatly from them getting the resources. So I think that's personally, I think that's a good thing that gets ignored a lot. But go
and
check
a fun
it out.
way to contribute, right?
Yeah,
JustCallMo.com. JustCallMo.com/golf. Very, very, very limited spots. Get your team together. And then
Guessing Ross is going to be there.
Ross is hosting. He is hosting.
Oh, really?
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, wow.
Oh, guy who
He's an
golfs.
avid golfer.
What's your problem with Ross hosting?
Because he
seems
golfs, he gets to be part of the golf thing.
He's good at golf, isn't he?
Yeah, his putting subpar at best.
Thank
so.
you. And it's mini golf, and he's a tall person, so
Yes.
good luck.
That's even more hilarious. I like it. All right, go check out all the details for the Just Call Mo Mini Masters until that name has to change. JustCallMo.com/golf. JustCallMo.com/golf. That's a cool event. Good idea. Who came up with that? Was it you or somebody else?
I don't know. We all get so drunk. It's hard to remember who comes up with
It
what.
wasn't you. It wasn't
It's
you.
workshopped.
I know what a bus decker idea sounds like when I see one. This is a bus
You
decker
can hear
idea.
it, that's for sure.
It was. It's a good one though. I like that. I hope that event works out really well for you, Mo.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Are you ready for the very cold weather that is headed our way this weekend in Florida?
Well, he had
I
some
see-
practice last weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just talking about Chicago.
How did that go? Was it brutally cold?
It was brutally cold. It was snowing heavily to the point where like Uber drivers, locals, like we haven't seen anything like this in 10 years.
Okay.
But stayed mostly in the hotel. It was a lovely little time and ventured out to see the concert and came right back.
How old is Buddy Guy now?
He turns 90 this year.
Damn.
Which, I mean, I said last week on the show, I was like, I think he's like 82, 84. I mean, dude
90
turns
years
90 this year. He was up there for at least an hour and a half performing and then
No
stuck
way.
around for like 2 hours taking photos and signing autographs.
That's so nice.
It seemed like totally with it and stuff.
Totally with it. Didn't even come out until like 10 o'clock at night, which I was like, I want to go to bed. I don't know what you're doing out. But yeah, he killed it. I mean, he's not as sharp, as I'm sure he's not as sharp as he used to be as far as playing and singing, but he did a great job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. All right, we have a lot more. People are sending in more of their last-minute tips here to get us ready for the frozen tundra of a weekend that we have ahead of us. We got questions from Mo, I think, on the list, Sealand. So
I have a couple.
We'll crack those open as well, and we'll wrap up everything as Power Hour continues here. Is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Traffic's backed up on Florida's Turnpike northbound before US 27. There's a crash block in the left lane there. On I-4, you're going to get stuck in some familiar delays. Morning traffic's cleared up mostly, although there's still some slowdowns approaching that World Drive area in between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. See traffic troubles, call the Val.
Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing
Hey,
brings
folks.
friends and family together
Stand
on
by.
a day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store.
Breaking news for you in just a moment. Breaking news. Hang on.
There's nothing like it.
Last call for that New Year reset. If you haven't got out to Hammer and Nails and done your beginning of 2026, do the reset. Show up sharper and more confident. Now's the time. Kick out of work early and head over to Hammer and Nails for a total man care package. Haircut, beard, hot towel, drink in your hand. That's how they roll at Hammer and Nails, and there's 4 locations across Central Florida.
How you doing? How'd it go?
How do you get the New Year reset? How do you get the complimentary signature upgrade on your first visit? You mentioned my name, C-Lane, and Real Radio 104.1. Download the app today or go to hammerandnailsgrooming.com and you can book right there on the website. Hammer and Nails, come as you are, leave as you want to be.
The Angels rejoin of the day is brought to you by Just Call Mo. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Any good weekend plans?
Oh, I'm going on a weekend cruise on MSC Cruises. We're gonna White Sand Beach and beanbag share.
Are you using nouns as verbs?
You can do that on MSC Cruises. Where was I? The food. Will rigatoni, French fry, we might even gelato. How about you?
Oh yeah, I was gonna lawnmower.
3 or 4 night cruises from $199 plus kids sail free. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cooper.
Stand by. Stand by. Sorry.
Questions. Hey everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from? Oh, Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Oh my God!
Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/.
Everything wants to break on a Friday. I just want to get done.
Get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
If you're on Medicare and living in the Orlando...
How's the stream doing? We good? Yes? Yes, no? Yes, no? We good?
Sage Dental is here to help you understand your Medicare benefits and make your care as simple and affordable as possible. Whether you need a routine cleaning or advanced care like implants.
Still sad about the news of Josh Fowler passing? True.
Sage Dental brings all your dental needs
Tough time.
together under one roof. At Sage, we use the latest in dental innovation, including minimally invasive techniques for more comfort and faster healing. Need a crown? Sage can create same-day custom crowns right in our office. In addition to Medicare, we accept most insurance plans. No insurance? Our Sage Care Plus plan can save you up to 65% on general or specialty dental care. Sage Dental, leading with innovation.
All right, here's my promise to you, streamers, okay? I want to apologize for the issues of the last couple of days. 1 second.
800-218-8877. That's 800-218-8877.
And for years, you heard me talk about Mike and his awesome team at the Home Builders Network. This is who you should reach out to if you need a new roof, you need new windows and doors. The fact is, it's not just me that thinks he's great. The Home Builders Network has been nominated by the Orlando Weekly as Orlando's best when it comes to windows and doors. So reach out to
Okay,
Mike, the
here we
Home
go.
Builder and his team. They're very professional.
So here's the deal.
It's Home Builders Network. Great insulation.
First of all, I'm sorry about the skipping and sputtering and stopping of the stream over the last 3 days. As best I can tell, that was our restreaming provider called Restream.
that allows you to multi-stream to different locations. They are suggesting that all their systems are up, but I don't think that they're telling the truth. I'm going to try to disconnect and reconnect that connection for Monday. I'm also going to email support and yell at them and ask them what was happening here. And if that fails, if we have another issue on Monday, I am going to stop using Restream and stream directly to YouTube until the problem is resolved. All right?
Want a big green egg? For the lowest price anywhere, go to Wassy's Meat Market. They'll deliver and set up your big green egg so that you'll be cooking before they leave. Follow Wassy's Meat Market on Instagram.
Breaking news, Don Lemon's ass is grass. I don't know. I mean, they're going to need to have Don Lemon actively working on planning entering this church. They're going to need him to do something that is clearly beyond the scope of being a journalist. A journalist. Again, I'm no fan of Don Lemon, but they're going to need him participating in a way that makes it clear that he went from journalist to activist. The activists are in trouble. I think that they may really actually be in trouble for this. But Don Lemon, unless he was doing more than just interviewing people and filming, he has to actively be participating.
And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive,
We'll see.
That's actually why I want to mention
90 seconds and we're back live.
Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating.
I mostly blame Gene and Sean. Well, our cameraman Gene is not to blame for this, I assure you. He's doing his best. He's putting a grade A effort in so far. He replaced the old cameraman Creamy, who's been retired. But if we need to make another switch, we will.
Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your
Don Lemon posted himself researching the best times to interrupt. Not very smart.
Go to trustandwill.com.
Big if true, but I haven't seen anything to prove that.
That's trustandwill.com/plan.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
/PLAN.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is, you can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is, you can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com now through February 22nd. See all the nominees and place your vote at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. M-O-N-E-Y. Money. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Newsroom. You can learn more about the show and over on the website, and that is at The News Junkie.
And to think the days before the freeze, depending on when you're listening to this, like gorgeous outside. Like, don't even need a jacket. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's going to get real cold real fast and stay that way all the way through mid next week or so. So if you are somebody who's not used to this stuff, we have tips along the way for you today on the show, and we'll get into some of those. People are even fighting over what tips are good and what tips are bad and all of that. We also have our friend Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm joining us here, justcallmo.com.
All right.
And I want to see, do we have questions for Moses that we should get into, Sealand? What do we have on the list?
We have
Anything
a couple that we collected. We were talking a little bit about this guy, Buzzfield. Who's that? The actor that was accused of doing some not so great stuff.
He had a show called The Cleaning Lady, and then there was allegations about some young kids that were on this show.
I thought it was the actual cleaning lady, like George Costanza and Seinfeld.
No. What was the question we had related to that?
So he got arrested, and they were deciding about bail. But he had been on the lam for a little bit, like they didn't know where this guy was. And
or the U.S. Marshals got involved, did they not?
Right. They were looking for him, and it said they when the judge decided the bail, I think they decided on some sort of bail situation versus not granting bail and keeping him locked up. Should the judge have considered the fact that he was evading capture for at least a period of time? Like taking that into account when deciding like whether or not to grant this guy bail?
Well, I mean, typically in any case, I don't know what state this was in, but in any case, there's two factors that are kind of the primary considerations for a judge when deciding whether to grant somebody, a bail or a bond. And number one is whether they're a flight risk. Number two is whether they're a danger to the community. So here, even though he may have been quote unquote on the lam, there could have been a question as to whether he actually knew that he had an active warrant for his arrest. Maybe he was just traveling. Maybe he wasn't actively evading law enforcement, but he just wasn't available to be found at the time.
It's national news, though.
Who watches the news these days?
Public-facing person. I imagine that's going to be brought up in court.
I mean, unless it's on the news junkie, I don't know about it.
That's
so
a good
same.
answer.
It's just the way it is.
Even what it is, I don't know. I mean, geez, this over here is
You're
hard
so
to keep
drunk,
up.
you don't know what's going on.
Something's got to get me through this frosty weekend.
I'm saying.
If
I don't
not
know if
drinking,
there's enough, man.
what else is it supposed to be? Anything else on the list there, C-Lane, before we move on?
They had this car thief who was, like kind of breaking into cars, trying to steal stuff, and he stumbled upon 1.1 or 11. He stumbled upon a great deal of cocaine.
Okay.
And so he called the police. This is in Nantucket. And he called the police and reported the cocaine, and then the owner of the car got arrested for this possession of large sum of cocaine. Does the car thief in this case get in trouble? I mean, he wouldn't have found the cocaine had he not been breaking into cars. And it seems like he might have tried doing a good thing to erase the bad thing, but it still seems like, A, you snitched, which is, it's stitch-worthy. But do the cops look at that and go, thanks for the tip, go on your way, stop breaking into cars? Or is he likely to face some legal trouble as well?
So, I mean, from a pure legal perspective, obviously he committed a crime here. The question is whether the police look the other way in order for him to kind of turn state's witness and participate in the prosecution of the other individual. Now, of course, that leads to some credibility issues as to, if he's a car thief breaking into cars, who's to argue that he didn't plant it there, or maybe, something went wrong, or
what brought him to tell the police? That's very random.
Doesn't seem like the most upstanding citizen, not upstanding enough not to break into your car, but upstanding enough to report a bunch of cocaine. So, that's going to be an issue for the prosecution down the road as to how reliable this witness is. So, I mean, to answer your question, he could certainly still face charges, but most likely the police want them, or the prosecution wants him on their side. So they're probably not going to bring charges or grant him some sort of immunity deal in order to testify in the trial or the prosecution of the drug trafficker.
He found an actual brick of cocaine in this car with Bugs Bunny printed on the side of it and all taped up. I mean, I don't know
What's up, Doc?
I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for why they put cartoon characters on drugs, but it is a little bit of fun, I think.
I can tell you from experience that
Ecstasy?
you will buy the brands. People will be like, man, you tried the Mercedes ones when I was a kid doing dumb things? You'd be like, oh my God, I got to get You're like, no, the Mickey Mouse ones are way crazier, right? Somehow it works, I guess. That's why they do it.
See, like, wasn't there a weird... Yes, it went out.
Nope, there was not.
You don't want to ask the vacuum question.
I don't need to ask the vacuum question.
Okay.
No, that was inappropriate. We said that wasn't going to go on the Mo list.
But
it was
it's
too
a very
weird.
interesting question.
Too weird, Sabrina. It was too weird at the time. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Jay emails.
But I mean, he was
the show.
charged with exposure.
Jay
but
emails
they were
the show.
covered
inside of the
by the vacuum.
Jay emails the show. It's very, very cold, and people are offering up advice. And there's been a lot of fighting as to whether or not you're supposed to trust what it says on the door jamb of your car for your tires when it's cold, or on the tire itself. Let's solve that problem, all right? Jay says, 20-year-plus mechanic here. The tire pressure on the sidewall of your tire is the max cold PSI set by the tire manufacturer and allows room for thermal expansion when the driving warms up the tire. The PSI in your door jamb is recommended by the car manufacturer for best performance and ride comfort. Both specs are acceptable. Either way, when it gets cold, the pressure will drop. I favor sidewall pressure because it allows the pressure to drop without going below the recommended pressure. If you have custom rims and tires, it's best to follow the tire manufacturer's sidewall recommendation, as you have gone outside what the car manufacturer originally set their car up with. Thank you, Jay.
Listen, I know car mechanics that you do this thing where you over-explain things so that I get confused and just turn over my money. You don't have to do it in the email, too.
That made total sense. He's like, use your car recommendations, and unless you want to be consistent with the heat and cold, use the tire recommendations. If you have rims and tires that are bigger than your car came with, ignore all of this and just listen to the tire itself. Well,
Hello,
one last
tire.
thing. Steve emails the show. Hey, junkies, I've lived in Ohio for 25 years before moving down here in 1990. And I personally don't remember ever having to do this thing where you lift up your windshield wipers when it gets really cold because you're worried about them freezing to the window or the windshield. I also am not even sure we ever did the leaving the water dripping for the pipes. I think this is just things people put out there to get us paranoid. Anyways, stay warm. We'll see you on a warmer Monday, says Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everybody else who has chimed in and given us tips on what to do here when it gets a little colder around this time of year. We'll hear from you. Send your email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. All right, when we come back, we'll wrap things up. Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday. That's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show. It's like Thanksgiving awkwardness 5 days a week. The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. This weekend, we are preparing for the Florida freeze. There have only been 5 times in Florida's history where temperatures have dipped to below 25 degrees, and this weekend will be one of them. Saturday night, we'll see a low about 24, wind chills in the teens. Prepare today because it's going to be beautiful on this Friday with sunshine, the high of 70 degrees. Tomorrow it gets windy. The Arctic front moves through. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. I've had enough. I'm frustrated. Rate the show. Rate the show out of 10. 10 out of 10 is a real winner, which stream-wise, I know this one hasn't been. 1 out of 10 is a real loser. Rate the show, please. I have already found another way to multicast if we need to use it, which we probably will on Monday. So this streaming problem should be solved, and maybe forever on Monday. Also, with the new solution I'm looking at, I might be able to even increase the quality on separate platforms. We'll see. 7.5, at least you tried. Thank you. Appreciate it. 9 Sean's remaining here after pulling it out of 10. True. I got to get today. I learned. I'm watching. Keep them coming.
All you do is mention my name, C-Lane.
8.5 A's for effort out of 10. All right. I'll take it. 10 out of 10 for Friday glitches are not your fault. Thank you. The problem is whether they're my fault or not doesn't matter. It still discourages people from watching the stream when we were doing pretty well. But that will be fixed. And guess what? I'm going to test that out. You know how? Because we have a bonus stream. Bonus stream Sunday, 3 p.m. It's technically an after show stream. A bonus stream coming up on Sunday at 3 p.m. Don't miss it.
Nothing. You're still basking in the warm sun, enjoying the peaceful ocean waves. You're breathing. Don't forget about breathing. Definitely need to be breathing. So you get to do nothing or everything, but you still need to be breathing.
All right, here we go.
The peaceful ocean waves. You're breathing. don't forget about breathing. Definitely need to be breathing. So you get to do nothing or everything, but you still need to be breathing. It's like really important.
Experience the difference with cruises to Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line ships registry the Bahamas and USA.
This is new. 4 homes for sale on my street, and everyone found their real estate agent on Ready.com. REDY.com. Have you heard about Ready? It's a smarter way to find a great real estate agent to help you sell your home. Much smarter, because with Ready, the best local agents compete for your listing and pay you a cash bonus to get it. Yeah, on Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to help you sell your home. Thousands of dollars up front just to be your real estate agent. And it's super easy. Just go to Ready.com, enter your address and when you want to sell. And in 48 hours, the best local agents are competing to be your agent. My next door neighbor, Joanna, got over $9,000. $9,000 just to pick an agent on Ready. Wow. Get paid to pick your agent. Go to Ready.com or call 888-646-REDY. 888-646-READY.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's irresistible Hawaiian sliders. There's nothing like it.
Look ahead with the team at TK Law to plan your family's future. Visit onefirmforlife.com.
Home of the world famous Game of Magnets. This is the...
And today, learn to wrap everything up for a Friday. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you for being with us today. Thanks to all the streamers who were patient. Everything should be ironed out on Monday as far as any video streaming issues have been going. Thanks to our friend Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm for hanging out with us today. Do not forget, you can go over to justcallmo.com/golf, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Justcallmo.com/golf to try to get in on the event that Mo is putting together. It's
Tickets
for a
are
great
going
cause.
quick.
Are they? It's for a great cause. It's a fun thing. There's like food, drinks, all the rest out there, and an awesome mini golf event. So go check out the details. And if you've never been to one of these Mo events, they are truly fun. So go join in on the fun at the news. At justcallmo.com. Sorry,
Have you ever been to a Mo event? That's the real question. Have you ever actually shown up?
Yes, of course I have. Justcallmo.com/golf. All right. What do we have to check off the list on the way out?
The vacuum cleaner question.
On Monday, Monday will be Groundhog Day, so the Puxatawny Phil situation will pop its ugly head up again.
Is it going to be very cold for them?
It probably will be. Let's look up Gobbler's Knob weather, Sealand. All right. For Monday. What's Gobbler's Knob looking like on a Monday? Because that's what they'll be facing. We are facing... And the temperatures in the 20s in Central Florida in particular. Even West Palm is going to be nice and frosty over this weekend. So everybody stay nice and comfortable. What's Gobbler's Knob look like?
Gobbler's Knob will be a brisk 13 degrees, and light snow is expected. 20% precipitation, 75% humidity, winds at about 8 miles an hour.
They'll show up, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing to them.
They got those dumb little hats on.
Yeah,
they speak in
stupid hats.
groundhogese.
Of all of the things that we have talked about, nothing has been quite as divisive, I think, as the damn tire
tires.
pressure thing.
Mm-hmm.
People are going back and forth about is it correct to follow your door jam information with your tires or the information on your tires? It has started a war, a meltdown.
I'm telling you what, this is the same thing they're doing up north with the stupid windshield wipers up or down. And then there was one guy on YouTube that was like, no, here's the thing you should do. You take a pool noodle and you cut it to the length of your windshield wiper.
I've seen that.
And then you cut it down the length of the pool noodle so you just surround your whole windshield wiper and pool noodle. And I'm just like, come on, man.
Oh, that's it? You just construct a windshield wiper saver out of a pool noodle? No
Yes.
big whoop?
You could buy 40 pool noodles on Amazon right now. I promise you, I've done it before.
Can't deal with this. Los on YouTube says, guys, please use the tire pressure that's on the door jam. It's all weight rating, 10 plus years as a mechanic, worked in racing, which used a lot of aftermarket rims and tires. If you fill up to the max rating on the sidewall, you're overinflating your tires and it will round your tire out and it will wear all wrong.
So what did he say? I'm sorry, what?
He's saying follow the door jam information.
Okay.
Follow the door jam
Has
information.
anyone answered the question as far as the freezing cold temperatures and what we're supposed to do at that point?
You are supposed to hold on as tight as you can and kiss your ass goodbye this week because
Hold
it
on
is
to your butts.
Deflate my
dangerous.
tires all together. Got it.
Dangerous out there. Until it's just bulbous enough, and then I say, good to
Bulbous.
go.
Can you
That's what I'm
bounce a
looking
quarter
for.
off of it? Perfect.
Set. Yeah, put the quarter in the tread to see how low it is. Whatever you got to
I
do.
don't
I
have
care.
tread. I haven't had that in a while.
Whatever you
bad?
got to do. It's probably bad. Yeah, I would think.
Take it
Let's
to
get our
Chad.
final dispatch out of the way here. It's all about tires.
Welcome
Okay.
to Car Talk.
TD is talking about Mo merch. Let's see.
Hey, Junks, what's happening? Happy Friday.
Hey.
Car noise is loud. Sorry. It is what it is today.
How's that tire pressure?
The Luigi Mangione story, super interesting, but I didn't get many of the details. I'm stuck on the fact that Mo sells pizza cutters as part of his merch package. I mean, T-shirts and stickers and stuff, yeah, but can you share more on the pizza cutter? I just find that really odd, but I want one.
She wants one.
They're
They're
a high grade
available?
pizza cutter. Absolutely, they're available.
Oh, they are? No
I'm pretty
way.
good. If not, we just ordered more. I know we just got another batch. Let me check it out as well.
Save 4.
But I mean, Sabrina, I think she can do a testimonial on them. They are fantastic. They will cut. They will
Any
slice
pizza.
and dice the pizza.
Oh, I got them.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah, here they are.
Look at that.
It's just call Mo pizza cutters. They're only $2.99 BTW.
bad.
That's beautiful.
And that's the same style that FBI fake one tried to
Yeah.
get Luigi Mangione.
Oh, yeah.
Some guy armed with this and grill forks tried to bust Luigi Mangione out of prison,
I
but was
tell you what.
unsuccessful.
When you make one of those, it's not delivery, but a pizza you put in the oven.
DiGiorno?
No, it could be any kind. But without a pizza cutter, it's a bitch.
It is a
All
bit.
right, you don't have the right knives. You might try to, but you don't.
We
Get
did
it
interview
together.
a guy once that did it with scissors.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
use
I
those
remember
scissors
that.
for other things.
Yeah, we get, if you're just
Paper.
tuning into the show, we get really high-end interviews like that around here sometimes. Yeah. Scissor pizza guy who's very, very
Mike
big.
Nyland.
Yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Mo, any thoughts on the passing of Catherine O'Hara on the way out? Are you a fan?
That one kind of that stings. That stings a little
tough.
bit. Wasn't expecting
Tough.
that.
Yeah,
Mo,
Catherine O'Hara.
You going to bet on the Super Bowl?
At 2 million pesos.
Get this guy on. Get this guy on television.
Who's
quick.
playing?
Real quick, a statement from her family says that she died in Los Angeles, Catherine O'Hara, after a brief illness, they're adding. So they haven't said what was going on. But she's survived by her husband, Bo Welch, and her sons, Matthew and Luke, along with siblings Michael, Margaret, Maureen, Marcus,
Heartbreaking,
Tom,
man.
and Patricia. So there she goes. And let's get out of here. Today I learned this movie series right here.
Superman.
I'm going to collect them, Gollum. Get them, my pretty. I've never seen these
Get
movies,
them,
so I
my
have no idea. I don't know how it goes. I've never seen any of the Lord of the Rings.
Courtney.
Give me the ring, Frodo. The precious. Bilbo Baggins is a good man. Whatever is said in the movie. Peter Jackson's mother, Joan, died 3 days before the release of the first Lord of the Rings movie. They had a special showing of the film after her funeral, which must have been awkward because it's so long, you know?
A hot ticket for the funeral.
Funeral ends, and you're like, oh, we stand for
Did
all.
her casket stay up there the whole time?
I guess so. So today I learned this song right here.
Oh, here she
Man
comes.
Eater. Man Eater is correct. Oh ho, here she comes was another possible guess.
Just saying.
Today I learned this is the most popular song officially that Hall & Oates ever released. Man Eater, allegedly about New York City, but I don't believe that part. Released in 1982, the 11th studio album H2O. It was on there. Got number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Remained on the top spot for 4 weeks, longer than Kiss on My List or anything else by Hall & Oates. Mo, have a great weekend, friends.
You as well,
Stay warm.
sir.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you guys on Monday. We'll see what that groundhog thinks, too. Same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you next time, everybody.